We got another CGC 9.8 25 book pre-screen.
Comically correct comics.
Welcome back, you guys, to Comically Correct Comics. I'm Brian. Thank you for stopping by. We have another 25 book pre-screen here, and super excited to crack into this one and see what we have. I can't remember what's in here, but before we get started, if you could please smash that subscribe and a like if you're not already subscribed, to give you a little idea of what you can expect on this channel. We could do a lot of CGC unboxings and comic book speculation and investment tips and tricks to help you be a wiser investor, a wiser collector, and ways for you to make money in this hobby so that it can fund itself. And also, I'm always trying to add value to this channel by providing exclusive offers for the viewers and free giveaways. If you don't mind hitting subscribe, I would appreciate that. And let's get started with this. This is a heavy one. That's a good sign. Here's the rejects. And here's a little bit of packing bubble wrap, because it means that the books themselves weren't enough to pack that book full. When you have a good 25 book pre-screen, they're packed full, no bubble wrap inside. So these are the raw book rejects. You all are probably well aware at this point, but if you do a pre-screen of 25 books or more in the same tier, you can put your desired grade. They'll slab it if it hits that and return it to you raw, rejected with a $5 rejection fee if it does not hit that desired grade. And here we go. Every time I see someone unbox this book, they laugh because it's like, oh shit, yeah, that one flopped, right? But it's the Thor #4, and this is the second printing, the first cover appearance of the Black Winter. And on the cover here, you've got Galactus as this tiny little dot compared to the Black Winter, which is a really cool cover. And I think that the Black Winter will be coming back. I mean, as much hype that was around it, as much success that the story arc had, there's no way that he's just gone. There's just no way. Just like there's no way that Galactus is dead. There's just no way. So I still think this is a good spec book. In fact, this might be a really good time to get in on it. I mean, prices are rock bottom on the Black Winter Thor keys. So we got another one. I might hang on to these for that reason. I mean, I don't have to sell these books right away, and I think that it seriously might come back around. We shall see. So we got 4 copies of that, and I'm excited that they came back 9/8. I mean, that's good. I wasn't too sure about them going out. Oh yeah, so this is cool. This is SpiderGwen #0. This is the reprinting of Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the first appearance of Gwen Stacy as the new Spider-Woman. And it says here on the label, reprint Edge of Spider-Verse #2, 18 pages of bonus material. So it's more than just a reprint. There's bonus material. It's the same cover homage, very slightly different than as the original Edge of Spider-Verse #2, which I think makes this a really, really cool book to have, because you can get this basically the same picture on your wall for a fraction of the price. And so that's really cool. I think I have a bunch of those. I have a bunch more raw that I haven't submitted yet. But there's another one. Another one. A cool story about this book, the original Edge of Spider-Verse #2. There's 2 different versions of the cover that exist. There's a dark variant and a lighter variant, and what's interesting about it is the lighter variant is very clearly like maroon in the background, and the darker variant gets closer and closer to black as it gets more dark. There's a kind of a spectrum, but none of them are absolutely black. Like some of them say it's a black variant, but none of them are totally black. Even the darkest one is still slightly maroon. And what's interesting is this book is, I don't know if it'll show up true to color on camera or not, but is kind of on the darker side. It's not as dark as the dark variant, and it's certainly not as light as the original light variant of Edge of Spider-Verse. So just something kind of interesting about the book. So I do see a bunch more of these. I can't remember how many of these I submitted. Another one. They're just so cool to see in multiples. I've always been a fan of multiple, multiple comic Monday, multiple issues of the same book. I think they just look so cool, and this is no exception. My goodness, did I submit a lot of these. I think I've seen them listed for $200 on eBay. I don't know what they're selling for. But I think it's a good, highly collectible book. There's also a second print of this, which has, I'll put a picture up here of what it looks like, but I think it's like a dark blue line at the bottom or something like that. You'll see it, you'll be looking at it right now. And that one definitely goes for more than this. So I think this submission was kind of a Spider-Gwen theme. I wanted to get, a bunch of Spider-Gwen stuff because I think it's just a matter of time before something really pops off with her, and some of these key issues are just going to hit the ceiling in price. So here's finally something a little different. We have SpiderGwen #1, and this is the Scotty Young baby variant. I used to be a huge fan of these Scotty Young baby covers, and then they kind of don't do it for me anymore. But SpiderGwen #1, and we got 2 of those. All right, SpiderGwen Ghost Spider #1, and this is the 1 in 15, I believe it is, variant cover, the Robinson variant. Just a really beautiful yellow cover. So we have SpiderGwen #1. This is the regular Jason Latour cover A. There is also a second print to this and a third print. The third print has green, and I'll put pictures of those up here. Second print, third print, SpiderGwen #1. And the third print is where the money's at. That's a very valuable book, super rare, and yeah, I would like to have one of those. I am just a big fan of this. I think they call it the radioactive cover. It just looks incredible. I really like this cover. Another one. And last but not least, SpiderGwen #1. Another one. So, a lot of Spider-Gwen in this one. I think that is a good move as an investment right now, Spider-Gwens. And so now let's crack into the raw books. This is how they come, usually how they come back in a Gemini mailer. It says raw books inside. Let's see.
How many should be in here? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 slabs. So it should be 3 raw books in here. Hasn't always been the case, but they're usually really consistent over at CGC, so yeah.
Yes, we have 3 raw books, and what's interesting, there's 2 of the SpiderGwen #0s and 1 of the SpiderGwen 1. So let's see if we can learn something here. Right off the bat, I can see what this was. This SpiderGwen 1 didn't make it because it has a very slight, ever so slight, stacking bend on the front and the back. So sometimes CGC will allow a little bit of a stacking bend, but apparently not on this one. And so it's just right here by the spine, a stacking bend on the book. I may press and resubmit that because that definitely could hit a 9/8 with a press. So this one just has a couple dings along the spine, tiny dings. And, you know, I've definitely seen books with more dings than that get a 9/8. So maybe they just weren't feeling it on this one in particular that day. I think if I pressed and cleaned it, it could get a 9/8, but let's see what this one has. Oh yeah, this one's got a couple creases on the spine and a little bit of a stacking bend. I mean, oh, and a pretty bad corner crunch, color breaking corner crunch down there. So this one actually has no chance of hitting a 9/8. It probably would get every bit of a 9/6 or a 9/4. So anyways, super happy with that submission. Remember guys that all of these books will be listed over on my eBay store, link down in the description. I can give you at least 10% off of the listed price over there. Don't be shy. Feel free to make me an offer. I'm also willing to do trades if it's something I want in my PC. And stay tuned for more videos. Now that I have my first, this concludes 125 book pre-screen submission that I did to CGC. And I think over 100 of them came back 9/8. And so there was a ton of things that I learned from getting 100 books back 9/8, and I can see all the defects that were allowed in 100 books, and then, you know, about 25 books that were rejected, and I could see all the flaws that were rejected. So I'm going to do another video that is all about allowable defects in a CGC 9/8, and I think that is definitely one that you're going to want to see. So please subscribe and tap that bell so you can get notified of that video. I appreciate all of you stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Comically correct comic.